Commander Zethrak's 4 eyes blinked in perfect synchronization as he reviewed the simulation parameters one final time. The Velthani officer's chitinous fingers danced across the holographic display, adjusting atmospheric pressure and gravity settings for what the Academy called the Crucible. A training exercise designed to push even the most capable cadets to their absolute limits. 30 minutes, he announced to the assembled group of interspecies military academy students. The scenario is simple: you're trapped in a compromised station section. Life support is failing, the exits are sealed, and rescue won't arrive in time. Find a way out using only what's available in the room. 23 cadets from across the galaxy nodded nervously. 22 of them, anyway. The human cadet Sarah Chin simply cracked her knuckles and stretched her neck with an audible pop that made several nearby Rishari cadets flinch. Zethrak had heard the whispers about Earth's newest contribution to the Galactic Defense Force. The third planet from Sol was classified as a Class XI death world, a rating so extreme that most species questioned whether intelligent life could have possibly evolved there naturally. Crushing gravity, violent weather systems, predators that hunted in coordinated packs, and an atmosphere that could literally burn through most alien respiratory systems. Yet here stood the small, bipedal creature with her persistent smile and unsettling forward-facing predator eyes, acting as if the Academy's most challenging simulation was merely an inconvenience. "Begin," Zethrak commanded. The simulation chamber materialized around them, a perfect replica of a damaged station corridor. Emergency lights flickered ominously, casting long shadows across twisted metal and sparking conduits. The air recyclers wheezed and stuttered, filling the space with the acrid smell of burning electronics. 22 cadets immediately began their methodical approaches. The Kurvani students formed analysis groups, their collective intelligence focusing on the sealed blast doors. The aquatic Merthal cadets searched for alternative ventilation routes through the flooded lower sections. The crystalline Zelnathi began calculating structural stress points with mathematical precision. Sarachin walked directly to the nearest wall and punched it. The metallic surface rang like a bell, reverberating through the chamber. She tilted her head, listening to the echo, then moved 3 meters to the right and struck again. And again. "What is the human doing?" whispered Cadet Veltar, a Rishari whose species was known for their analytical prowess. "I believe," said Cadet Thrum, whose rocky geomantic physiology made him one of the toughest students in their class, "she's testing the walls?" Sarah had completed her circuit of the room in 47 seconds. While her classmates deployed scanning equipment and began complex calculations, she simply nodded to herself and walked back to what appeared to be an unremarkable section of the outer wall. The gravitational stress differential between the inner and outer sections creates a structural weakness approximately here. She placed her palm flat against the wall, then stepped back and rolled her shoulders. What happened next would be discussed in academy training manuals for decades to come. Sarah planted her feet, drew back her right fist, and struck the wall with the full force of a creature evolved under crushing gravity and constant environmental pressure. The reinforced titanium alloy composite, designed to withstand meteor impacts and plasma cannon fire, buckled inward with a sound like thunder. She hit it again. A spiderweb of cracks spread across the surface. A third strike, and the wall simply gave way. A section large enough for a person collapsed outward into the simulated space beyond, trailing sparks and twisted metal. "Exit secured," Sarah announced cheerfully, dusting off her hands. "Who's coming with me?" The timer read 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Commander Zethrak stared at his display in stunned silence. In 3 decades of running academy simulations, he had never seen a cadet simply brute force their way through what was supposed to be an intellectual challenge. "That wall," he stammered, was rated for pressures equivalent to 12 atmospheres. Sarah shrugged. "I'm from Earth. We call that Tuesday." As alarms began blaring to signal the end of the simulation, 22 cadets stared in awe at their human classmate, who was casually examining her knuckles for scrapes. The Academy's most challenging exercise had just been solved not through superior technology, careful analysis, or tactical brilliance, but through the simple application of raw, terrifying, impossible human strength. From that day forward, Academy instructors made sure to include a footnote in all simulation parameters. Note: wall thickness increased by 400% to account for Deathworlder students. Sarah Chun, meanwhile, was already looking forward to next week's impossible scenario.